All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Idaho Commission for Libraries Idaho Teen Reading Challenge info session. Woo! This will probably be a pretty short um, meeting today. I am going to review the Idaho Teen Reading Challenge, kind of go through the ins and outs. It's not a very complicated program, so there's not a lot to talk about, but I will give you the overview, talk about details, and then answer any questions you might have. So and I'm going to start by sharing my screen, and I'm mostly just going to share the website for the Teen Reading Challenge because anything you would want to know is on this website. So let's get going with that. Okay, and I put the link to the website in the chat if you're interested. So the Idaho Teen Reading Challenge is a reading challenge that is meant to be a tool for Idaho library folks to better connect with teens. Um, it's for public and school libraries, special libraries, anybody that serves teens can take part in the challenge, get materials, and then what you do with it and how you implement it is really going to be dependent on your library, the resources at your library, and your connection with your teens. So there's no one right way to do the challenge, but we do have materials that you can use to implement it. So the Idaho Teen Reading Challenge challenges teens to read 8 books in 7 months in Idaho. The challenge runs from October to April. And so that's the 7 months. Teens have that amount of time to read their 8 books. You can see from last year's challenge, the 2024-2025 challenge, we had more than 700 teens and tweens finish the challenge. Way more started, but not everybody completed it. In 62 different libraries across the state, and we have little pins here for all the libraries so you can kind of see where people are competing or doing the challenge. North Idaho, very well represented, doing great. So each year, the Statewide Teen Advisory Board, also known as STAB, which is made up of peers of yours from around the state, school and public librarians that serve teens, they come up with the categories. And we started, this will be the 4th year of the challenge. So the categories are created by other librarians. And when we do our survey at the end of the year, we always ask people what the teens thought or what they thought. So we take input from participants into account too. So this year's categories are try a new genre. So something they haven't read before in a different genre. You have a big fantasy reader, maybe bump them over to sci-fi. Or you have a true crime people, maybe they want to try some like sports or nonfiction. A sports book. So any book featuring a sport that can be fiction or nonfiction. The categories are meant to be as ambiguous as possible to give kids as many chances to find a book within the category. Memoir or biography. This one was very much requested last year. So a book about a real person. Read the same book as one of your friends. Book in a setting you want to visit. That does not have to be a real setting, by the way. It can totally be made up. Read a mystery. This one was also requested last year a lot of times. Read a book with a 1-star review. And that can be really any book because if you go onto Amazon or Goodreads or wherever you're getting your book reviews, even Book Talk, you will find that your favorite book has a 1-star review. So that's sort of like a funny one, but it might be interesting to read why people gave it a 1-star review. One of the categories is Look to the Future, and this is a book that makes teens think about the future. That could be their future. Maybe they're reading a book to help them prepare to go to colleges or find a new career or to test prep. It can be a self-help book. It can be a sci-fi book about the future. Very loose with that one, but we do want teens to kind of imagine a future for themselves. Help yourself. is a book that helps you learn something new, and that can be learning a new skill. It could be a cookbook. Read a cookbook, learn something new, learn how to cook something new. It could be an actual like traditional self-help book. And then free choice. Um, so we have 10 categories there, and we ask teens to read 8 out of the 10 categories. And that's so that teens can really exercise their own choice within this program. We don't want anybody to feel boxed in or that the program isn't for them because there's one category that they don't really vibe with. And then free choice is kind of a loose one that is basically encourages people to read anything. The goal of the Teen Reading Challenge is really to help you connect more with your teens. And so we want to remove any barriers and still make it fun. So that's why we're sort of loose with the challenge categories and with what counts as um, meeting any of the categories. Uh, yeah, so those are the categories. This is how to participate. You need to register, and there's at the top of this page, there's a little button here that says register here. And that just says my library wants to participate or at least give it a shot. And then you tell me in your registration form how many of each material you would like us to send you. And I will show you better copies of these in a moment. But we have a bookmark that you can order. So you can order these in packs of 25. We have a reading journal, a tracking sheet, and a poster for like advertising. So when you register, you kind of anticipate how many you're going to need for your library, and then we will mail the materials out to you. And then once you get the materials, the challenge starts October 1st. It's kind of on you to implement it, advertise it however you will, connect it with teens however you like. And the only thing you need to do is keep track of how many teens actually finish. In May, like May 1st, I will send you a survey to kind of get your feedback about the program and get that number of how many teens completed the challenge. As an incentive for participation, teens that complete the challenge will get a vinyl sticker, and I'll show you a better, we'll do an unshare soon, and I will show you these. And then we also do a drawing for free books for libraries. And the way the drawing works is we randomly select one public library, one school library, and then one library from both public and school, like everybody, to receive, last year was about $200 in free books. So the more teens that you have that finish the challenge, the greater your chances are for being selected in the drawing. And last year we did have the libraries that were selected did have a lot of teens finish. So, but it could be anybody. So if you are living in a smaller area, it could really just be luck of the draw. And I had enough budget last year to provide, gosh, it was around 20 books for each library. You can do whatever you like with the books. You can add them to your collection or you can give them to teens. Let's go over a few frequently asked questions. Those of you who have participated in the Idaho Teen Reading Challenge before may notice that we did kind of update the logo and the look of the materials this year. We did that based on feedback that maybe the logo that Jennifer just created 4 years ago, because she needed to get something out the door, was not that appealing to teens. So I actually worked with a professional graphic designer who's on staff here to create the logo and the updates, and I think it turned out great. There's 10 categories, but you only need to read 8 books. If you need more materials, you can email me and I will make sure we send those out to you. You can do that anytime throughout the year. Let's see, we talked about the incentive. The teens get a sticker, you get a chance to win free books for your library. The first year that we did the Teen Reading Challenge, we did do a drawing for Amazon gift cards for the teens. That was sort of a one-time thing to kick off the challenge. I am hoping to explore options to get this challenge like sponsored somehow so that we can offer something directly to the teens. But with the way that my budget works and my funding sources, are all tax funded, so I can't just like buy prizes for teens, including Amazon gift cards. So I am exploring other options for incentives though, because I know a sticker is fun, but it's not as cool as a gift card. So it's on my radar. Your library is free to provide any incentives that you like, though. So if you have leftover summer reading prizes or books or anything like that, you can for sure use those. Last year, the Centennial Library had a big party at the end of the year for a few different reading projects that they had been working on. And Gina just like did a spin the wheel, and you can choose a crock charm or a sticker or a bookmark or something that she had in her little bin of stuff. So feel free to do whatever you like. What types of book qualify for the challenge? So all types of books, audiobooks, ebooks, graphic novels, instruction manuals. If you really need to encourage a reluctant reader and just get them to read a magazine article, or if there's a video game that's kind of text heavy that kind of fits a category, if they're playing, I don't know, like one of those football, like the Madden, uh, maybe, maybe they'd have to like talk to you about it or something, but um, all reading counts. And uh, again, the goal is that you are building connections with teens and helping kind of connect them with great library resources. Do with that what you will. I'm certainly not going to ask you, are you sure that all those teens read sports books? I'm not going to check. Who can participate in the challenge? All Idaho teens ages 12 to 19. If you have sixth graders where they're like the kids are 11 and they're going to turn 12 this year, that's fine. Um, again, it's it's really for you to do with what you want. You can use your own tracking system. You do not have to use any of the like paper stuff we send you. All that really is important is that you keep track of the final number of teens that finish and then report that back to me in May. So um, with that, I am going to show you electronic versions of all of the printed materials. You are free to, we have links to all of the PDFs here. You're free to print off whatever you like if you don't want to wait for me to send it to you. We also have editable versions of most of these in Canva if you would like to add your own library's logo. We're having problems doing with the poster sizes, so I'm hoping that we'll get that figured out in Canva soon. You would think it'd just be like upload, but it's not working well for us. The things are getting weird, so we're trying to figure it out. There's also a link if you want to download the logo, like different versions of the logo and use them however you will. This page, I'm just going to bop into it really quick, is pretty cool because we actually have all of our ICfL logos here. So if you need a logo for anything we've ever done, it's library.idaho.gov/logos, and you can just grab a logo for anything. And they're zip files, so it's like the high quality ones. Okay. One other thing that is coming your way by October 1st will be little brief MP4s, like commercials that you can use either on your social media. A lot of school libraries do video announcements now, so we're going to do like a shorter spot that doesn't have any like narration. It's just sort of like a vibe with the music and some slideshow, and then a longer version with kind of like a hyped up narrator. So those are coming. We're working on them right now. By we, I mean Donna. Donna is working on them. And so you should be able to use those like either within your library, on your socials, whatever you want to do. So this is what the bookmark looks like. So we have kind of a front with just the read 8 books from 10 different categories between October through April. And then the back has all the categories and a little check mark. So if students or teens want to like hole punch those or check them off as they finish, there's lots of things you can do with that. We have the tracking sheet. This is an 8.5 by 11 one-page thing. Some libraries keep these in the library. Like a lot of school libraries do this where they'll have kids keep their tracking sheets in the library and just fill it out there so they don't lose it, and so that the librarian can kind of keep connected with people who are participating. So this is the front. It has the 8 categories. And then on the back, it has where they can just where the teens can just put the title, what category it fills, and the date. They don't have to put their name or phone number. We did get asked for adding that for especially public libraries who may not know the contact information for the teens. So in case the librarian needs to contact them or for whatever reason, but you don't have to have teens fill this out if you don't want to. We have reading journals. This is kind of a quarter, it folds up into a quarter page type thing. It is black and white because printing these in color is really expensive. Thank you to Angela Flock at the Coeur d'Alene Library for designing our original journal. We've kind of just revamped her design every year. But this is sort of bullet journal style, so you can do notes here. For each of the categories, you can uh, kind of say what your plan. Okay, so this is like a planning side. This is the category side. What category it fulfills, your rating, favorite quotes, a synopsis. Lots of fun things. The journal, I would say, is hit or miss. Like some teens love it, and some libraries are like, my teens don't even use this. So if you think they'll use it, order some. If you don't worry about it. No obligation. The poster is the same poster. It just comes in two sizes. So this is what it looks like. And this is just for you to help advertise the program. It doesn't do anything besides marketing. Um, but we do have two sizes. Everybody who signs up and registers for the challenge will get two of these posters, and they're on kind of like glossy, heavier weight paper. We do have an 11 by 17 size that you can print yourself, but we can't print those out and set them to you. So it's available if you want to print it, but we didn't get it for you. Okay, so you get your materials in October. Actually, we have them all here. As soon as you register, we'll send them like every week. We'll just send out a batch. And get your teens excited, get them reading, connect with them. In May, I will check back in with you to see how it went. I'm gonna stop sharing there. And that is all there is to it. So, with that, what questions do you have? Oh, I will say one other thing. When we did our survey kind of at the end of last year, we asked the libraries, do you want to pre-register for this year's challenge? And we had like 66 libraries who were just like, yep, sign me up, send me some more stuff. So on that webpage, there is a little link to see if your library is already registered. I'll put that in the chat too, in case you want to look at it. So we do have lots of libraries who just pre-registered. That again was feedback from a previous survey that I thought was great. Of course, yeah, just register now so you don't have to do it later. So, okay, what questions? Megan, you have a question.
Yeah, I was just wondering, some of the more successful libraries, like we were more successful last year. But I was just wondering, like, what do you guys do to get them to actually complete it? Because we handed out all our materials, but we only got like, I think 10 last year back.
That
Which
is
is
really
more than
good.
one from the last year.
Okay, I will tell you, public libraries will typically get 5 or less. If you are getting more than 5 on a public library, you are doing great. The
Okay.
school libraries have a captive audience and they kind of can rope them in more. I will say the most successful public library last year was St. Mary's, and she worked closely with her middle school librarian too. And they kind of like did a tandem thing. It's possible that I think more people finished with the public library than the middle school library, but it's possible there was a little double dipping there. I'm not that worried about it because, again, if the middle school librarian is making a connection and the public librarian is making a connection with those kids, that is the goal. So if you can, um, kind of partner with a school or do something like that. But honestly, Megan, 10 is fantastic.
Okay.
And
I feel better
you're
about it.
doing
That does
great.
sound good.
So Tanya, the MP4 files, when they are ready, will be on that website. We are in the process of working on them, but I just got the script back today, but I think they'll be done before October 1st. So when they are ready, I'll probably put out like another blast on Live Idaho that says, "Don't forget to register for the Idaho Teen Reading Challenge." And also, look, we have these amazing commercial MP4s that you can download, and then there'll be links to them. So I will be so excited to tell you about it as soon as they're ready, and then they will live on that webpage. Good question. Anybody else have any questions for me? All right. Well, since I have your attention, I will say one more thing about the Idaho Teen Reading Challenge is that this has been a really successful program. In the past 3 years, it has grown exponentially. Um, Having over 700 kids finish last year was amazing. 62 libraries with finishers. Just to give you a sense, I mean, there's a ton of school libraries in our state. Just there's a lot of schools. There's about 700, but not all of them. Many of them are elementary schools. But there's only like 100 plus public libraries. So having 62 different libraries participate in anything is a great number as far as I'm concerned. Um, so because the program has been so successful and has grown so much, I would like to create a separate kind of advisory group for this program. So in after we kind of launch it in October, I'm going to start soliciting um, volunteers who might want to help shape the program as it goes along. We have been having the statewide teen advisory board STAB do most of the heavy lifting. But I really would like them to also focus on some other things and not just this be their whole thing. So um, the new advisory group would help me uh, create kind of a messaging or a marketing toolkit. We have, the different materials every year, which is awesome. Um, and the commercials this year is a new thing, and I hope that we can kind of recreate those from year to year. But having actual people who work in libraries tell me kind of what they need for marketing purposes would be very helpful, and what the messaging needs to be and things like that. Also, this group would help create the categories for next year, which um, is like a 2-hour meeting, honestly, because it's just a lot of ideating and discussing and things to consider. One of the biggest barriers to participation in this program is that if the categories don't fit the collection of the library, a library is kind of out of luck. So many libraries don't have very big budgets, especially school libraries. They might have a $0 budget. So having any category that sort of relies on a newer book is not going to work. Um, there are lots of like little things like that to take into consideration. So my point is, this year sometime we will be creating kind of a statewide board. I'm also interested in having actual teens sit on that advisory board. So if you have any teens in your area who would like to have their voice be part of this project, they will be welcome to the table, and we will be finding ways to integrate their feedback too. Um, Knowing that coming to a regularly scheduled Zoom might be something they might not be able to do because of life, but you know, giving feedback in any way and coming to a Zoom occasionally is sort of the goal with that. So more exciting things to come. I'm going to give you a close up now of what the sticker looks like this year. It is vinyl, so you can put it on your water bottle, you can put it on your laptop, and it is shiny. So maybe this will encourage teens to complete the challenge, because we do have so many teens that do just even a little reading. And I wish there was a way that's sort of a goal of mine too, is to recognize the teens that got like halfway there or something. So, but I need your help to figure out how that's going to work, because again, Jennifer sitting in her cubicle is maybe not the best person to make that decision. Ah, okay. Any other questions or thoughts that anyone would like to share? Okay, then I will go ahead and thank everybody for coming. I'll stop the recording. Thank you.